How y'all doing today? It's your boy Jermaine from EatRightGuy Nutrition and Fitness, back with another video. And so for this video, we're going to be covering how to get a job after your internship. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video. So let's talk about this topic. So somebody hit me up on Instagram and wanted to know my advice on this. And I kind of thought about it, and it's really no clear-cut, straight down the line answer to this, because in terms of getting a job, it all depends on what your employer is looking for or your recruiter. So it's not a one-way fits all thing. So in order to kind of make or answer this question, I thought it would be better for me to kind of do a story time, just showing you how I got my different jobs as a dietitian, as well as some of my failures and things that I did. And maybe you can kind of take some advice from what I've done, as well as you can kind of learn from my mistakes that I potentially made. So let's start off from the beginning. After I finished my dietetic internship, entering into my first job as a dietitian. So finished my dietetic internship. My first job after that was being a diet tech at a hospital. And the reason why I got this job is because I had just finished my 6-week rotation at this hospital. And they had the position open as a diet tech. And the dietitians that worked there told me to apply there. And I was kind of reluctant to do it because I'm like, I don't want to be a diet tech. And it was only paying me $12 an hour. But I was like, you know what? It's better than working at Walmart, which I was currently doing for like $10 an hour. And you know, Walmart, I wasn't getting any kind of nutrition experience. So I was like, okay, I'll be a diet tech. I'll be making a little bit more money. And then it's something that's in my field. And it's kind of a way to get experience and get my foot in the door. So I took that job. I think I was a diet tech for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then I got promoted as a dietitian at the hospital. So it's a clinical dietitian. What they didn't tell me when they hired me as a diet tech was that they wanted me to get that position because they knew one of their clinical dietitians were leaving. And if I took that diet tech position, it would be a lot easier for me to elevate to the clinical role. So that was my first job as a dietitian, was a clinical dietitian in a hospital. And so that kind of just fell in my lap. I did a good job during my rotation. All the dietitians there liked me. So it was a very easy process to get that dietitian role. And so I remember I still had to do the interview process, but I had already got the job. So I did that for 1.5 years. Was kind of getting a little tired of clinical, was getting bored of it, kind of wanted to specialize in something. And I saw a job come up for a renal dietitian for a company called Fresenius. And to be honest with you, that job was posted for a long time. And I never thought to apply for it because my renal rotation was only a week long, and it fell on Mardi Gras in New Orleans. That's a holiday that we celebrate. So I only did that rotation for like 2 days. So I didn't really know too much about renal, but I knew I liked doing renal educations in the hospital. But the main reason why I applied for that job is because they had like a $3,500 sign-on bonus. So I was like, I can get that sign-on bonus, and because I got experience right now, I can negotiate a higher salary. So basically, I didn't do anything crazy. I just went home and applied for the job. I did my cover letter and everything, typed up my resume, and just sent it out. And I didn't think nothing much of it. I didn't think I was going to get the job or anything. And I was able to get an interview. And so when I did the interview, it was kind of like a group interview. I think it was 2 or 3 dietitians that interviewed me. And I think one thing that helped me stand out was I came with a portfolio. So I brought, like, even though my renal rotation was only 2 days, all the projects that I had to do, my menu, my handouts, and all that stuff, I took that to the internship, as well as I made like some handouts, additional handouts before the interview. And so I kind of told them that, hey, I am experienced in doing renal educations, and I think that kind of helped me get the job. So I landed that job. I worked there for almost 5 years. Was kind of getting tired of being a renal dietitian, so I was like, you know what, I want to branch out and I want to move out of Louisiana. So I just started applying to a whole bunch of different places in Texas and Florida. Any job, any dietitian job I can get. One day I got a call from a VA in Florida, and they asked me if I was interested in the job, if I was interested in relocating down here for an outpatient dietitian role. And I said, I want to live in Florida, I'll take it. And that whole process took like 9 months for me to start. But from there, when I think about it, and once I started working there, I really don't know how I got that job, because getting a VA job, they really like to hire internally, and they also like to hire veterans. So I don't know, I applied for it and I got it. And with the VA, they're really thorough on doing background checks. So I'm pretty sure they called all my references and everything, and I got a good word that I'm a good worker and everything like that. But I didn't do anything special for my VA job. I didn't call the employer or anything. They kind of just called me. And then I did that for a year, and then I got tired of that, didn't really like the VA. And now I'm back at my position now for a different dialysis company. And this job was really easy for me to get as well. One, because I have a lot of experience. I'm also board certified in renal nutrition. So when I applied for that job, they literally called me 2 days later. I got an interview the next week, and they basically hired me immediately because they needed a dietitian. I already had the experience and I already was credentialed. So that's basically how things worked out for me. I've never went over and beyond trying to get a job, like reaching out to people, and you know what I'm saying, or I don't know, things worked out for me. Now let me talk about things that didn't work. And if you watch this channel for a long time, you know I became a dietitian because I wanted to be a sports dietitian. And I have had no success in doing that. So I told myself in the year 2019, before I got my job at the VA, 2019, I'm gonna do everything I can to become a sports dietitian. So I applied for the Gatorade. Gatorade has a program to where they will get fellows. You'll do a fellowship with like a sports team for like a year, and they basically will place you somewhere. And they only choose like 10 or 11 people a year. I applied for that, didn't get it. And I literally, if you ever go to sportsrd.org, which is like the official website for sports dietitians, that's where all the job postings are. For like 3 months, I literally applied to every job opening, whether it was a real job, an internship, or a fellowship. I applied for all of them. They also have a directory on that website of all the professional sports teams, all the top D1 colleges, and they have all their dietitians. And I basically wrote down all their emails and personally emailed all these dietitians my resume. Very few of them replied back to me. The ones that did reply back to me said, hey, we're not looking for a position right now. We don't have an open position right now, but if we do, we're gonna post it on sportsrd.org. So that didn't work out. But I applied to so many different places, and I only got 2 interviews. And so one was at a small college in North Carolina. They were only gonna pay me like $23,000 a year with no benefits. So I knew whatever, even if I got hired over there, if they liked me, I wasn't gonna accept that job. And then there was another job in Florida at a very big high school. I was gonna take a pay cut to do that. I actually got 2 interviews. I had to make a YouTube video for it. I really thought I was gonna get the job, but I didn't get it. And then after that, I got hired on at the VA, and my dreams of becoming a sports dietitian died off. So the jobs that I actually got, I didn't put that much effort to get them, but the jobs that I wanted the most, I put the most effort. So things kind of work out like that for a reason, and I'm over the sports nutrition thing. So with that being said, that's basically like my story on, you know what I'm saying, how I got a job after the internship, my recommendation is to just apply everywhere. You know what I'm saying? The more applications you put out, the better your chances. If you can network, that's good as well, because if you know somebody that works at a particular hospital or clinic, and you let them know that you're looking for a job, since they know you, you have a better chance of getting it. And just be persistent. If you get declined, or if you get an interview and they don't hire you, don't get discouraged. Just keep doing it. Everybody, you know what I'm saying, gets turned down. Even before I got that first job at that hospital, I interviewed for another hospital, and it came down to me and this other dietitian, and I got beat out. But it worked out better because the hospital that I did get was closer to my house, and I had more opportunities to learn about different aspects of nutrition because it was a larger hospital. So kind of went on a ramble with the story time. Hopefully this kind of answers your question or can put things in better perspective. If you have any more questions, you can leave them down in the comment section, or better yet, you can hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram is EatRightGuy, and I'll see y'all for the next video.